Good morning. How's the sound? Thank you, Vern. If you're just visiting with us, welcome. Glad to have you or have you back. What we're doing now is just kind of waiting for the volatility of the open to settle down, even though you'll see a lot of indicators on the charts. This is where the open started, right? So we're getting a lot of conditions on these bars that will typically help us to identify when price might be ready to become exhausted and start turning. But during the open, we rule all that out. There's just too much volatility going on right now, so we don't even pay attention to it. We don't have a particular amount of time that we wait before we start trading. What we generally do is we're going to look for, this is a good example here on the RTY. We're going to look for an initial push because there's always an initial push during the open. And inevitably, there is a pullback from that initial push. When that pullback is over, typically we can say, okay, things should start settling down now to the point where price isn't jumping 3, 4, 5 ticks at a time. So that we can actually take trades, and we have the small targets and stops that we have. We really don't want to get into trades where price is jumping that much because the slippage could be extreme. And it could slip right out of our edge, the edge that we have. And suddenly you're in a trade that you have no business being in and you wish you hadn't gotten in. So looking at forexfactory.com, we do have a 10 o'clock news report that we see as a red folder news report. We typically will not be trading during red folder news events. The volatility is much like what we just experienced during the open. end up whipping you out before you even know what happened. So we take a quick break, just give it a chance to do again the same thing. You give it a push, get a pullback from the push, and then check and see if price is still jumping or if it's settled down to a more natural, smoother rhythm like what we're used to. And then take the next setup after it settles down a bit. Then we have crude oil inventories at 1030, which used to be a big market mover for all the instruments that we trade, but now it's pretty much just oil. So we don't want to be in a oil trade just before the oil report starts at 10:30. So we'll stay out of that. And then finally, we see that we have the Fed statement and the funds rate coming up at 2 today. So anytime we have Fed activity at 2 o'clock, we kind of anticipate as we start getting towards our closing time, the closer we get to noon, typically we start seeing things slowing down a little bit. People start going off to lunch early. They've decided they're going to wait and see what the Fed say before they come back and start trading. So we might see a slowdown in our trading, uh, a, a little bit more than typical going into lunchtime, which is the closing time for us. Okay, watching the CL. We still have 15 minutes before a news report that we have coming out. Right now, we're kind of in between. We have the potential of a trade setup that we really don't teach the beginners. Oh, well, this one is a Rockstar trade. So I went ahead, or Naked Rockstar. So I bought the CL. It was potentially setting up to be a naked speed tick. Turns out it's a naked Rockstar, so that's even better. So I did buy the CL. If you got it late, then you could have gotten a better fill. It pretty much just sat right at the entry price for a while, kind of letting everybody get on the bus. Yeah, if you have the dark blue speed tick, you won't get a Rockstar because we turned off the Rockstar for the dark blue. So, and again, that's because you're going to have maybe 5 to 10% difference in the signals you get versus the signals I get. Sometimes you'll get things that I won't get and vice versa, and that's normal. So, see how the condition that got me into this trade has changed? Wait, there we go. +5. Just about to start um, managing that trade, and then it went to target. Good job. Oh, let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, Ryan. And welcome to the room. Is today your first day, or were you here yesterday? Okay, welcome to the room. No, so we have our indicators are extremely high performance, meaning that we are actually reading, processing every single tick on every single bar, every single millisecond. So we're really high performance indicators. So what that means is, and you'll notice there's no repainting of our indicators. What happens is as the instant a condition exists, we'll put an indicator that we're interested in. We'll put an indicator on the chart. Because of the high performance nature, there's a lot of different factors that can generate a signal. One of which is, internet speed, your computer speed, the amount of RAM you have, how close you are to, your internet provider. There's just a lot of different circumstances that can make our charts maybe milliseconds apart. Yours might be faster than mine. Mine might be faster than yours. But in general, our signals are not going to be more than 10% different. If they are, then we got to check some things. Watch this RTY. I'm watching this. See if I get a Rockstar. Actually, if it comes up a little bit, it's potentially a speed tick trade, which is I showed you guys on Saturday. Well, it's a Rockstar or a naked Rockstar, so I shorted the RTY, and by the time I finished saying I shorted the RTY, I hit my target and I hit +5. That's how we stay low stress. Good job, guys. Now, if you were just looking at static charts trying to design a trade plan or some sort of a trading system, would you have seen an opportunity here? Well, yeah, well, you got to. You're new, James. We got to keep practicing. I ended up with a +5. Yeah, price come up and then it backed up. So this was an opportunity for a. This is a great opportunity for practice. So make sure you mark that one down and practice, practice, practice that one. All of you guys that did not get that, well, except for maybe Steve, uh, are fairly new and haven't had the opportunity to be doing the practice that some of the others have been doing. So there's a prime example of how important it is to acquire a skill. Mike has been practicing for the last 8 or 9 weeks every day. He's well over 1,000 trades that he has practiced so far, and his execution is getting off the charts. No pun intended. All right, watching the YM and the ES and now the RTY, all three of them could be potential setups. It's going to be kind of hard for me to call out a particular one, so you're going to have to watch all three. I'll let you know which one I enter. I'm watching all three. All right, actually, the one I saw first was the RTY, so I shorted that one. The ES also qualified. Did not get the ES because it had already started going towards target. So that was a +5 on the ES and a +5 on the RTY. Good job, guys. Yeah, I mean it's proven to be effective. We prove it all the time, and then we have people that have nothing better to do in their lives. They've got no life at all. They're just sad, pathetic people sitting alone in a room about the size of a closet like Mike, and who does nothing but practice, practice, practice. Come out, go to the bathroom, get some food, go back in, practice, practice, practice. Is that about right? Probably doesn't even shave anymore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not supposed to be using those bottles. If you have a paid license of Ninja Trader, right? Yeah, yeah. I know. That's so screwed up. I'm lighting a fire under my guys to see if we can make some faster progress on the one that we're trying to develop. I am also evaluating. I have it up in front of me. That other one from that other vendor. Uh, I wish I could say I was excited about it. Yeah, it's got some really cool features, but and maybe it's my computer or something, but I'm having a hard time with it being consistent. Um, like right now, I'm clicking on it. It's set to sim, so I'm clicking on it and no trades are being placed, and there's no reason. Um, I have no idea. So yeah, it's like they got a great idea. Yeah, that would be my next step. I have to check with them on that. Another thing is I noticed that at random times the level 2 data just instead of it being in 10 spaces in each direction, it just goes to 1, and then I'll look back and it's back at 10 and no particular reason. So it's a good idea. Thank you, Laura. It's a good idea, and they've done some really cool things. but I'm not there yet with um, what I think about it. So far, not great. Now, I do know there's another product from a company called Jigsaw. I have not tested that product, but I've heard really good things about it. Yeah, take the cats out. Miss T, you're killing me. Yeah, if you need to get a refill, now's the time. Let's let this news event shake out. It's likely to get pretty volatile here in the next minute or so. Yes, I am. In fact, I took a pre-market trade on the, I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I took a pre-market trade and then those two. So yeah, I'm in Sim now, which I should point that out, I guess, to visitors. And I mentioned this in the event, and I mentioned it yesterday and the day before, but I'll mention it again today because some of you are new here. This is how I do things. Now, yesterday, yeah, it's kind of hidden behind a button called videos. Sorry. Let me log in here so I can make sure I direct you to the right place. So, yeah, you log into the members area. It's really about, you're going to just feel so stupid. Are you in the members area? You see the button that says trade room recordings. Let me know how I can make that more clear for you. Under the glass doors. See the glass doors? Scroll down. Not much of a news event. Didn't really seem to do much to the markets. We were waiting and nothing really has happened. Every now and then it's delayed a little bit. Apparently the numbers came in about what they were forecast, so nothing special going on here. Find it. James. Anything? Did James leave? Maybe. No. I watched the 6E. Never mind. Oh, you took that naked speed tick, huh? It was. I honestly didn't see the box. Well, who gave you the day off yesterday? I looked all over my desk for a request for you to take a day off, and I didn't see any request. Just a no-show. Oh, sorry, I was in the middle of telling visitors something. Those of you that it's your first time here, I have mentioned it yesterday and the day before, and I mentioned it on Saturday, and that is I trade for wins and losses. I have no money goals. Certain people, sorry. So I don't have monetary goals when I'm trading. Money makes you stupid, makes you make bad decisions, makes you emotional, all of that. And I realize that about myself. So I remove money from what it is that I'm doing here. My job is only executing the trade plan. So my plan is very well worn. I've been using it for years, and I know that if I just count wins and losses, that I'm able to think more clearly and event over time trading for wins and losses, the money is just the net result. It'll just show up. So my focus is on wins and losses. So I trade for a net 3 winning trades per day. And then I stop trading live and then I put it in sim and I continue through the rest of the trading session in sim. Now that can happen at 9 a.m. I could hit my target, or at 2 minutes until noon, or never. I also may not get net 3 winning trades, but I just keep trading live until I do, or I hit net 3 losing trades. So, for example, Monday and today, I hit net 3 winning trades relatively early in the morning. And I stopped trading live and I put that money in the bank. I think that was Jim. Yes, yesterday, but I don't remember for sure. So I stopped trading live, put that money in the bank, and then for the rest of the day, I trade. And I know no matter what happens from this point forward, no matter what, I have ended the day as a winning trader. Not many people can say that. So I'm not trying to make a bunch of money. I'm trying to consistently end the day as a winning trader. Was that you that talked about Randy Howell or the amazing Randy? All right, yep, TJ, there he is. So, you guys that are visiting are fortunate that you've got to experience both. Like I said, today and Monday, I hit my net 3 for the day and I ended as a winner and money's in the bank. And from this point forward, all I'm doing is practicing. Yesterday, I hit my net 3 losers. Stopped trading live and traded the rest of the day in sim. Trying your best. What does that mean? Sometimes you fail. Why stop trading? Because if I stop, there's no potential for me to end the day as a losing trader. Remove that possibility. Because I don't want that to become 10 losses. I never have big losing days or big winning days. I have consistent days. My account doesn't go way up and way down ever. It's a much smoother curve than most traders. So now I can actually plan based on my typical monthly income. And it doesn't vary dramatically from month to month. The longer I do this, the smoother the curve. Yeah, for sure. I grew to that point. I didn't start there. Yeah, I got to net 3 winners and then I also, I it's a process and it takes time. And over time you earn the right to move on to the next step. So you have to take this baby steps. Now, the way I did it was with these instruments here or other instruments. Actually, I traded the bonds and things like that. Um, but there was no such thing as micros. So I did it on these where I had, more money invested in each trade. But I still slowly grew to the point where I had, you know, issues with fills and things like that. So I had to develop a plan on how I was going to deal with that. So it was a growing process, which you can all do. And I will help you with it when it's time for you to grow, when it's time for you to move from, trading only sim into trading, with real money with a single contract, and then you grow your account by a certain amount. And so you earn the right to now either go for 2 trades, single contract, or 1 trade, 2 contracts, and you grow slowly that way. Well, I was risking more to do by doing it that way, but it still worked for me. You guys have the micros to work with. So you can even start slower and more gradually work into this without risking as much, because the micros, to my understanding, I don't trade them, but several traders here do. I think Andy has traded them or is trading them. Is Andy here? Yeah, Andy's here. Um, and others have traded them, and they move very much like these instruments. So when you go live, just go to the micros. Yeah, they are more, but but remember, you're not worried about commissions. You're worried about trading live, and you've all noticed, and in fact, I think some of you talked about it either Monday or Saturday, and that was, yeah, I always do great in sim, but as soon as I move live, uh, I don't do as well, right? Right, because the things that um, pop into your head when you're live are changes the way you think, totally changes. So the idea of practicing and trading in sim is to help start to rewire your brain. Soon as you trade that first live trade, your brain goes right back to where it was. But what you've done is you've developed tools to deal with that so that you can get back on track more quickly, more easily, and you know exactly what it is that you're doing wrong and that you've allowed that to happen. While you're getting that brain rewired, it's a lot less expensive to do it on the micros. So it's still a learning, growing process. Yes, you're paying more commission for the micros, but it's less painful initially if you do kind of go back to your old ways until you can, get back into it, because that's going to happen, and that's going to happen to every single one of you when you uh, trade sim, practice, continue trading sim, and you've gotten really good at it, you've gotten really confident, you're becoming consistent and all of that, and you go and trade your first live trade, your brain is going to go haywire and you're going to go back to exactly how you felt before. You're going to get excited, you're going to get nervous, you're going to have all of those emotions, hopefully not for very long because the trades are really short, which is also another benefit because you don't have a chance for all of those chemicals to hit your brain and affect you for very long. But it's going to happen. But the key is you now have tools to deal with it. And you have a group of support here to help you. Thank you, Laura. not, not that you feel harmed or scarred by that. Don't follow me. That's not what I'm here for. I'm your cheerleader. That's it. And I'm the guy. I'll hold the. I've got a lantern that I'm holding up to light the path that you're supposed to be going down. I'm not walking you down that path. That's your path. Practice. You're right. But you can get over that because all of this is about conditioning. When I sit down to trade, I honestly have no emotions or cares or feelings about what today might bring. I am no longer, I used to be. Holy crap, I would wake up and I would be so excited to sit down and start trading. Just like I would be if I went and sat down to play poker in a casino in Vegas. That would be exciting because it was gambling. No, and that's exciting. This is not gambling. However, a lot of us still approach it that way. And our palms get sweaty and our mouth gets dry and we get excited about what the potential of today has until that first trade. A 100,000 candle. Oh, the yeah, the torch, like they call it overseas. What do they call it? A torch? Yeah, flashlight. It's not about how much you work; it's about how smart you work. Those of us that have run our own businesses for many years are very um, um, we appreciate the value of our time, which is why I don't sit in the afternoons and trade and maybe get a couple of trades. Man, my time is way too valuable for that. So I like to maximize my time and try to hone my skills so that when the markets are moving at their best, that's when I want to be at my best. Right, so we got oil inventories. So far, not much going on here. Looks like they came in, what, a little better than expected, I guess. Wow, nice. Witnesses. All right, so we're not going to really wait or worry about this CL news. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. So, any questions from visitors? We have a number of visitors here today. Some have returned. Some are here the first time. So, it can seem like a lot initially. It's really, once you know, just like a car, once you know what everything is, it is actually very simple. If you look down on the page you're on, you should see a quick start guide. Do you see that? I have to scroll down a little. If you've maximized the charts, you might have to go back and unmaximize them, scroll down a little bit to find the quick start guide. Yep, that thing's pretty valuable. Wow. Man, you guys must be sick of snow. It's even worse up in the mountains. Holy cow. I'll be skiing until August. I remember doing a lot of spring skiing and loved it, but not so much summer skiing. So I had a friend that owned a bunch of Domino's franchises in Georgia, and he had a lot of them. I mean, 100 or 200 or something, like a lot of stores. And it was amazing how often he got sued, to the point where you can imagine if you have that many stores, you probably have a pretty big office building with a lot of people. He had a whole floor of just lawyers to to fight the the lawsuits. You know, your pizza burned my mouth kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah, and they've got it rigged. The whole system is rigged so that they make a lot of money, and you can't do anything without them. I, being an outside the box kind of thinker, I had a business partner that, first of all, he was responsible. So remember I told you guys that my accountant uh, stole $1.2 million from me. So some of you don't know that story, obviously, but I hired a guy to be my accountant, and he was doing a good job. And I have, you know, uh, and so this was accountant for my company and my personal accountant. So he seemed to be doing a real good job. He was a go get 'em kind of guy. He liked to make deals amongst his clients. There was a point in my uh, previous business I wanted to expand, and instead of just opening one hot tub store, I wanted to open three, and I needed some cash for that. And he goes, "No, I got a guy that'll lend you some cash." So he put together this deal, and I got a loan, and so we opened the other stores. I paid off the loan. Everything's good. So Alan's my guy. He's a great resource and a good accountant. So all things are good, and he comes to me, or yeah, no, he comes to me one day and he says, "Hey, your business is doing really good. I got a guy who's a client of mine. He's got a son, kind of a ne'er do well uh, son who can't really gain any traction in life, although he seems to want to live the high life. So this guy inherited a bunch of, not didn't inherit. He sold his business, coloring concrete. That was his business, but he made a whole bunch of money. So he had a whole bunch of money, and Alan thought that maybe because we were again wanting to expand, that I would be interested in selling a portion of my business, which I did, and we did, and um, so the terms were from from the other guy who was his name was Ken, my partner, that Alan would be the and this was part of the deal, and it had to be part of the deal that Alan would be um, the CFO. And I'm like, that's fine. Alan's my guy anyway, so yeah, let's make Alan the CFO. So we expanded into a bigger building right after that. Actually, it was right before that, but and we had extra offices. And Alan goes, "Hey, I I need an office, and you guys have extra. Why don't I just office here?" Sure, love it. Have my accountant right here in the same building. So Alan's officing in my office, and he's there at night, and he's there, because he's got a key, he's got off hours and whatever. So my bookkeeper comes to me and she says, "I don't know why, but Alan seems to be in our office a lot on the computer." And I thought, nah, it's just Alan. He's good. Don't worry about it. But it kept happening, and we couldn't really figure out what he was doing and why. And anyway, long story short, Alan was loaning all of my money to somebody else. The same way he loaned somebody else's money to me. Little did I know that he didn't have permission to do that. So he loaned all my money to somebody else, and we caught him. Uh, so as it turns out, a whole lot of other things happened. but it came down to the point where I lost $1.2 million. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. And to Alan's credit, it was only for his ego. He didn't get $1.2 million. He didn't end up making money, a lot of money on this. Alan wanted to be Mr. Big Shot wheeler dealer guy. So he loaned all my money to somebody else, and then that went all to hell, and all my money was gone. Alan did 6 months in jail. Um, but for some reason, Ken, my partner, who also lost money, uh, thought I was in on it and sued me, or was in the process of suing me. And rather than just sit back and say and hire a lawyer and just let them go fight it out, I called his lawyer and I said, "Well, you can sue me, but I don't have anything." So I'm not even going to defend myself. Go ahead. Because then what's going to happen? You're going to get a judgment or something. I don't have anything. I had a house, and equity in the house, but then my thing was I'll just never sell the house. You'll never get anything. And that strategy kept me from getting sued. The lawyer believed me and talked Ken into dropping the suit. There's more to it than that, obviously. It was a mess. In hindsight, it felt at the time like the world was crashing in, but in hindsight, best thing that ever happened. Best thing that ever happened. We made so many changes in our lives for the better because of all of that. That wouldn't have happened otherwise. So in hindsight, it was the best thing in the world. Watch this ES and the YM. Either one of them are available for our naked speed tick trade. So I bought the ES. Could have bought the YM, but I could only buy one because they both hit at the same time. +5 on the YM, and on the ES, and if you bought the YM, +5 on that too. Visitors, you've seen the videos, you've heard me talk about it in webinars. Everything that I talk about happened right there in front of us right now. Do you have any questions about what happened, why it happened, how we knew it was going to happen, how you can take advantage of this, anything like that? This is if you watch the video of Saturday or even Thursday, which I just posted, by the way, if you guys saw it, I sent out an email. Yes, +5 is +5 ticks. Correct. That's our target. And that's my target. And a lot of our traders have adopted that because they have also found that that's kind of the sweet spot here. So, for example, here's the trade, right? Trade went up. We all hit our target and came back. That's the sweet spot. Yeah, Jim, guess what? you can control that because that's a skill that you can develop. You develop the skill by practicing in your off hours so that when it's game time, you're ready. You have skills. You will develop these skills just like any other skill that you've ever developed, that you've wanted to become skillful at something, so you work at it. Yeah, that 5, that extra effort to go all the way up to the next line. I guess the plus is also way up there. You see just a plus, that means it was a winner. He has a hard time with the 5. I think he's dyslexic or something, and he doesn't want to say plus S. Efficiency, that's what it's all about, right? You don't need to put the 5 if everybody knows, right? So if you watched the video or attended the event, didn't I show you this? I showed you this almost exact thing, didn't I? Did y'all watch that video or attend? Does this look like exactly like I told what I said we were going to trade? You could, but what would have happened here? I guess eventually it would have gone. But more likely, if you had a runner on, it would have backed up and taken the runner out. You could, and I have, Ryan. And what I found is that after 6 months of trialing that, now it was a long time ago that I did that. You could put on a runner, but then if you put on a runner, the assumption is that this isn't just a quick pullback, this is a reversal. If you're putting on runners, that's because you're assuming that price is going to reverse at this point. We have no information to tell us that this is price reversing. It could be. The information we have suggests that price is going to pull back at least a little bit before it continues on with the trend. So the assumption is the trend is going to continue after this quick pullback. So if that's our assumption and our belief, and what happens oftentimes is that the trend is going to continue, then a runner's not going to really help you much, is it? Rather hit that hard target and be done and put it in the bank. Now I can count myself as a winner for the day. Not to mention, I'm relaxed and I'm ready for the next setup. I'm not managing another trade. I'm ready. GC will not qualify for a naked speed tick for those of you that are working on that. So, well, for a couple of reasons. So don't even worry about it. It is not a naked speed tick. What about this? 6 or 7. The first 3 were winners, so I hit my hard target of net 3 winners for the day. So I I stopped trading live at that point and continued on in sim. So far, I have had 6 or 7 winners today and no losers, right? Sure, it's okay to ask, but it's completely unimportant because you can't do what I do because you don't have the skills that I have. So all you have to do at this stage of what your research is find a system that has an edge that you can exploit regularly and consistently with confidence. That's your mission right now. And then your next mission, once you've determined this is where you want to be, you want us to be your new trading home, then your next mission is the relentless pursuit of excellent execution. That's your next mission. And that's the mission Mike is on now. He found us 7-8 weeks ago or something, and now he's practicing, mostly because he doesn't have a life and nobody likes him. So he sits at home alone anyway. He might as well be practicing. My wife just walked in the room. She went, "Oh my God." She likes you, Mike. Hey, speaking of family, what happened to your daughter? She was hanging out with us here for a while. Did I run her off? So the answer to your question, Ryan, is I trade multiple contracts, but I don't put them all on the same price. I have a way of scaling in, and if you watch the video from Saturday, I kind of give you a general idea of how I might do that. It's not exactly like that because I do more contracts than what I show you on Saturday, and I scale in a little bit. It's a little bit more elaborate because I've been practicing for going on 15 years now. So you might imagine I have some skills that it's going to take you a while to acquire. You don't have to be too quick. You have to be deliberate. There's two things, two very different things. And what happens is, particularly when you practice, is you have the ability to speed up your practice sessions. So if you get used to practicing at double the speed, 3 times, five, I think it goes to 4, and you get used to practicing at faster speeds, when you actually come and trade in the trade room, your senses are finally honed, your skills are finally honed, and this feels like slow motion. Yeah, Mike is the our poster child for practicing. I think everybody does it some, but Mike has taken it to the next level, which it's only to his benefit. He is going to gain experience and skills much more quickly than those that don't do it. Absolutely. But I can only say it so many different times and ways. It's up to you guys to decide that what I'm saying actually works and will make you a better trader. I can't do it for you. I wish I could. Doesn't matter, Ryan. It doesn't have to be slow. You can practice in the evenings after you've done with your day job. Put the kids to bed or whatever you got going on in the evenings, and set aside a couple of hours instead of watching the television or whatever you do. Sit down and practice. Yeah, the practice sessions are independent of market hours. Remember, I don't know, for those of you, I know I'm going to age myself here. Remember when microwaves became a thing? We found out how fast you could cook things, and we were just amazed. How is this possible? Oh my God! You don't have to wait, and you don't have to turn on and everything's just almost instantaneous, right? We were amazed. They were called radar ranges back then, and we were just amazed at how fast. And now, if I have to wait 2 minutes for a microwave to warm up my lunch, I'm like, come on, come on, come on. In the CL, looking for a rock star or not. This will qualify for a naked speed tick. I'd prefer a rock star, and there we go. So there was a deliberate entry. So I sold it, but I actually sold it. So here was the open. It backed up to here. That's where my order got filled, or one of my orders was here. Because I didn't buy it at the open, it backed up a tick, and that's where I got it because I was deliberate. Not super fast as far as I'm concerned, but look, these people practicing and have been here for a little while, they're getting their plus fives. I got a plus five on that. That's winner number 8 today, I think. Nah, don't overextend yourself. Might be taxing. Very nice. So I asked you what you're doing. You probably said what she's been doing, and then scrolled by because I got. Um, I'll scroll back to see if you answered my question. Did I? Did you answer? School since she can't be in the trade room in the morning. Yeah, I figured that might be the case. Practice session is available to you anytime you want. It's something you do on your own, but you use tools that we have in our Pro Trader program to help with your practice sessions. We have the daily trade room video, like what we're watching right here. Right, you can watch it later tonight and listen to my commentary. Watch the trade setups again live. You can trade them with us on your while you're watching the video. You can set up your NinjaTrader platform and trade along with us. Then you take this information from this video. You also have access to what we call the potential trade setup log, which I keep real time. In fact, the people that are pro traders could go right now and look at the log and see what trades that I've identified today as potential trades that you would want to go practice. So that log is available to you also. So those are the tools that we provide for you for your practice sessions. Plus, you have the indicators so that you're on. You have them on your platform, your charts, your. You then set up a Superdome and practice your trades. So the idea is it's self-directed practice. As long as you're practicing the right things the right ways, you're going to get benefit out of it. We kind of help you with making sure you're practicing the right things in the right ways. I I hate practicing something, particularly trading, where you don't even know if your system has an edge. You don't know if you have the ability to trade that edge, to exploit that edge. You don't know. I say you don't know. What I mean is you don't have confidence. So if you don't have confidence that the edge is exploitable and that it's a real edge, right? So because we all jump into different trading systems and we hear that it has an edge because the guru moderator, that would be me in this case, says it has an edge. And so you want to believe them because you want to learn from somebody. So but you're not really sure because you can't believe most of us guru moderators, because we're all in it to sell our systems and make just boatloads of money. So you can't really trust us. So you don't really know for sure if there's an edge. So you don't have a lot of confidence that there really is an edge or it's exploitable. Once you have confidence, then you can practice with intention. You know that practice is going to benefit you. Like in sports, you know that if you practice the right things the right way, there will be benefit. That's funny because when I say sports, there's a lot of people that like golf, and so they go to the driving range and they believe that just hitting golf balls is going to make them good golfers. And I could stand out on a driving, although I can't do it. Watch the RTY. Although I'm not a good golfer, I look like I'm a good golfer. I have a beautiful golf swing, but I have no idea where the ball's going to go. But I can watch people practice, and I know what they're practicing is the wrong thing. All right, I bought the RTY. +5 on the RTY. Now, how did we know that was going to happen? Oh, hi, Scylla. You've been quiet today. You're generally kind of quiet. Oh, this is called a look at all the indicators. We have a climactic volume. See this box here? That means that the volume inside this bar had reached a point of climax, or historically, this would be a climax. This is a speed tick. This says that the order is being processed through the exchange at this exact point in time is faster than is likely us retail traders are able to trade. So that means this bar is most likely being manipulated. At some point, this pullback alert dot here tells us that, yeah, us retail traders were selling. And then somewhere around here, the buyers started jumping in, and the buying and selling volume, they're fighting, okay? On top of the fact that it's a climactic bar and that the acceleration in the orders was really fast. So we have all of this information suggesting to us that something is about to happen. So all we do is we want to wait and make sure that price doesn't pull back so far here that this, what we call wicks percent, see this green shadow behind the wick? That green is go for us. If that had turned red, which you'll see like these are red, that would have been a no-go. That would have canceled this trade potential. Did that spark another question in you? Excellent, Les. That's an excellent thing to do. I used to do that. I'm sure it's coming up soon. The grandson starts kindergarten this next year, so I'm sure I'll be going to his school for lunch. So when you say you're just watching, what are you watching for? You're waiting for your gut to tell you something? Or do you have some very specific criteria? And what will tell you that? Are you trusting your gut? I mean, how has your gut done with helping you with trading up to this point? I'm forcing you to think, right? You can approach this like a hobbyist, or you can approach this like a professional. If you're planning to go to college to become a professional at something, don't you think that you should know certain things? Yeah, I posed all these questions to Mike also. I got to get you guys to quit thinking that the answer to all your woes about trading, or all your questions, or all your expectations about what you might find out there in the internet world that are going to answer questions that you don't even know you have. If you believe it's out there, it's not. So you got to quit waiting for your gut to tell you what to do. You need to establish a criteria of this and this and this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. This is what I should be doing. And then if I find this, that's the thing. And I'm not saying that's us, because what we do is not for everybody. But if you're out looking and you're searching for something and you don't know what that something is, you might as well stop until you do know. Very mean. Hey, honey, Mike, the guy that nobody likes, just said I'm mean. It actually says, "Oh, you just play a mean guy on TV." Guys watch Shark Tank? I'm like Kevin on Shark Tank. I'm actually a super nice guy. And we know this because we know him. He's actually a super nice guy. I watch the CL. All right. Backed up enough, and I got a good fill on this CL, so I bought the CL. Didn't have to get it at the open price. Remember, if I'm deliberate and I see that price backs up, oh, there's the first loss for today. 9 or 10 winners, and now my first loss. Yeah, I get it. I joke about that. It's funny because if you were here yesterday, you would have seen me take 3 losses in a row, and I stopped trading live and finished in sim. So you wouldn't even be here today if you had been here yesterday. But no, it's funny because I've been doing this almost 15 years now, and um, I can see people leaving the trade room. In the I have the admin back here, and I can see when people come and go. And it's funny when I'm trading and I'm having a decent day, regular day, and I'm taking wins. They stick around, and then I take a loss, and I can see them exiting. Nah, this guy's no good. He takes losses. He's a loser. So I just laugh, and it's unfortunate, but whatever. I am sitting on it, and I looked at it, and it looks really good. But we don't make changes fast around here, so you just hold your horses there. It might show up. You never know. So for a speed tick trade, this would have qualified for a speed tick trade, which would have been a buy here, but it did not qualify because I didn't have major support behind that trade. This white line would have needed to be right there. In that case, I would have bought it. It has nothing to do with whether I think price is going to change directions here or not. It has everything to do with the fact that price may want to test that support before it potentially pushes it back in our favor. So there was no trade here. Hey, I called that last time and a woman answered. like, like you just smoked 4 packs of cigarettes before breakfast. How long you been trading, Ryan? At least you know it's as a hobby. There's hope for you. You want it to remain a hobby? Is that your intention? Which is nothing wrong with that. It's a fun hobby. Yeah, two different things. We do no fundamental analysis here. We don't care about it at all. Watch the GC. Yeah, talk about drudgery. It's almost as bad as practice. Right. Short of the GC. So we're hoping this high of the day acts as some resistance. Often does. But one tick away from being stopped, and now I'm back to let's move to plus 3, 4. Plus 5. Not me. I'm still in it. So if as I'm managing this trade right now, I'm not pulling my stop up yet because I've got all this divergence on this bar. This is I print this on the bar so for my trade management decisions. So I use that, and so because I have all that divergence, I'm not pulling my stop up yet. We'll see what happens on the open of the next bar if I'm given that opportunity. So yeah, a lot of you guys got a better fill than I did, so you got your plus 5, and that certainly happens. It went. You guys got filled. Everybody all happy and having martinis, and I'm still here in the coal mine. Practice. All right. So notice no divergence on that bar. So I am moving my stop up, and I'm out at -5 now. Save myself a couple of ticks. Uh, I see it faster, so I don't. My Flash and McDiver are always my favorites because they're my first children, right? So they're my favorites, and then I see the Super D. But I put more emphasis on the Flash and McDiver, probably because I feel and the CCI. But see, I don't have an indicator for the CCI, so they're up here. So we have the RSI, the CCI, and the MACD, which is the McDiver. So I will put a little bit more behind that because I feel like they work better, but I don't have a specific rule for that. My rule is for divergence. So I make it a very clear, cut and dry rule, the type of rule I could teach to a 10-year-old kid so that he would know exactly what my expectations were of how he was going to handle that trade. So that's my suggestion to people writing their trade plan is to write it so that if you wanted your 10-year-old kid to trade your account for you and you taught them your trade plan, they would have no doubts about what they were supposed to do ever. Use them any different. They're just more obvious and apparent when they print. And I also put it on there because some of our programs don't offer the Super D. That it's not included with. I think I think it's only included with the Pro Trader. I don't remember, but it's not included in all the program. So I leave them on the charts for people that maybe don't want to invest in the Pro Trader or at least yet. They can see what they look like on the charts. That's what they would get. Yeah, they look cool. I like the flash. Oh, you could do that. That's cool. That would be cool. Did you ever find the trade room recordings? Yeah, that's you're the one making Mike lazy, too lazy to type in the 5. Yours may not be 5. Background color, the color of the candlesticks or the the behind the wicks, or you're talking about the chart background. Oh, that's called the wicks percent. Basically, all it does is tell you if it's a real wiki bar or not. Wiki bars tend to show a lot of indecision. So we don't want a real wiki bar for this particular trade setup. The speed, well, there's a rockstar there, but oh, there's not even. Never mind. Don't listen to me. It's not. I got to update that. Um, yeah, it's called Wix percent, and it helps us with the naked speed tick trade setup, which won't be the first thing you're going to want to learn to trade. The first uh, trades to put any effort in are the speed tick, the Rockstar, and the Naked Rockstar. Those will be the 3 trades that'll account for I don't know 85% of your trades. Yeah, sometimes um, I will develop something because I realize that what's obvious to me is not obvious to other people. And that's really where the Rockstar came from. Before there was a Rockstar, it was a trade setup we called the Speed Flash. And people kept missing it and not understand. So I put the confluence together in a single signal, and that was a big aha for a lot of people. So maybe I'm thinking about it now. You know, that's kind of what the velocity indicator did that we're no longer using. I could go back and review that code and see. It's been a long time, potentially. How many trade rooms have y'all been in, you guys that are visiting, that tell knock knock jokes? Huh? Kind of unique group, aren't we? Eh? Forget about it, eh? But which British accent? Sorry, thank you, James. Jim, I missed that. So there's not a whole lot of difference, but we notice that if we have extra confluence on some of the Rockstar setups that we were getting that did not have support or resistance with it, that's the white lines. That's these lines. If you look at the quick start guide, you'll notice that support and resistance is required 5 ticks or less from right behind the trade, so that we can use that potentially support and resistance to help us stay in the trade in case it goes against us. We noticed over time that if there was a few more circumstances of confluence on the bar with the speed tick, we really didn't need that extra support or resistance behind the trade. It was pretty much going to go most of the time. So with the extra confluence on the speed tick bar, we remove the need for the support or resistance. And somebody somewhere along the way said that it was a naked, they called it naked because the support or resistance wasn't behind the trade. And that name just stuck. Anytime, any trade you hear us talk about that's naked, that means there's no support or resistance behind the trade. Yeah, except it happened many years before he got here. You have to check in at work every now and then, Ryan. Make sure they know you're still there. Yeah, see you, Les. Yeah, lots of good practice opportunities today. Yes, it is. I sent out an email last night, but I can get you that link real quick. So that is a Rockstar trade on the CL. A little late pointing it out and getting on it, but it was a winner, and it was a Rockstar because we had support behind it. All right, so it qualified as a Rockstar. Your point of entry would have been here, or when it backed up a little bit, and then that was a +5. Well, it wasn't an awesome push, but it was. I mean, it was a nice drop. If you look to the left, you look over here, you're not really seeing any bars, right? Because it opened inside this zone right here. So this we use it to help us qualify whether it would be a good Rockstar trade to take if it's a naked Rockstar. So, for example, the only reason this qualified as a Rockstar trade was because we had this support. Low of the day, albeit minor, we consider it support. So that qualified it for a Rockstar trade. If I did not have this support, that would have made it a naked Rockstar, which would have disqualified this as a trade. Okay, so the naked Rockstars do not qualify if they're blue. To be honest, we don't get a whole lot of blue Rockstars that qualify for a Rockstar setup. We do get them occasionally, but that would be an easy thing to just remove from your trade plan because you won't really be missing many trades. Nice. I missed that one. Yep, there's another setup right there. Naked Rockstar. Look at all this confluence. Down it goes. Absolutely. Great day for playback practice. Of the criteria of a naked speed tick is that we need 2 up bars. This is nuts. Right. All right, let's watch the ES as a parting shot here, potentially for the day. Will be the last trade of the day for me, anyway. If it opens with a rock star. All right, actually, the trade showed up on the YM. So that's a naked rock star. Oh, well, that's a good one to end on, huh? All right. I think we can call it a day. Everybody have a good rest of the day. We'll see you all tomorrow.